So you're saying that you think that women can't be honest with guys and say, hey, I'm not interested in you if they approach them?
Well, I feel like the problem is that often women aren't honest with men, right? So a guy will come up to a woman and be like, hey, you know, we've been talking, like, give me your number, let's hang out, or whatever. And there's some pressure that I think men don't really recognize.
What pressure?
Well, there's pressure for the woman to say, okay, here's my number, even if she's not going to return his calls, even if she initially isn't even
interested in him?
Isn't interested in pursuing the conversation. And I can tell you why.
Why?
Well, I think there are a few reasons why a woman would say, okay, here's my number.
Right.
Off the top of my head, I would say one, maybe she feels good about that attention.
So she just wants his attention, but she doesn't want him? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, so she feels good about getting the attention. She feels good about going, you know, back to her girls and being like, yeah, he asked for my number, but I'm not interested.
Right.
That kind of thing. Also, I think there's a lot of times I think women feel uncomfortable saying no. And the reason is because, you know, because he's kind of pressuring her to give the number, right? He's like, hey, give me your number.
Okay,
like,
but this is what I want to know. Wouldn't it be easier just to say, hey, you know, I'm very flattered you want, you know, my number, but I'm not interested, or, you know, I'm not like looking to do anything like, you know, date right now with you, or whatever it is, right?
Right. It sounds easier. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. What are you saying?
I was going to say it sounds easier from your perspective. I think the problem is that there's a huge issue with feeling awkward in those situations, right? So like, and the situation feels awkward if he's asking for something and she's refusing.
Okay, so let me ask you from
right, and so in order to avoid the awkwardness, which is actually a big deal for women, is to like keep things smooth and not feel uncomfortable around a guy. You know, she'll give it to him and then get away as soon as she can. Right. And then just not return the calls. And that seems easier.
Less annoying than saying no at the time. Having a guy call you 10 times and you gotta block his number.
I think so.
Come on, ladies. Like, seriously, like so why can't why is it that, you know, it's that difficult? Like, why can't you just tell it? Because a lot of times women, they'll be in the street and, you know, a guy will come up to them or whatever, and I see women say, hey, you know, oh, I'm not interested, or they'll even lie and say I have a boyfriend or whatever just to like get out of it. But what I'm saying is, I feel like, why can't more women do that up front so that it won't be so much of an attention thing, like, or it won't be a waste of time for both parties? Like, well,
it's a waste of time for him, not for her.
So playing around with a guy is not a waste of time for a woman?
Well, I mean, if she's getting calls that she's not going to answer, like I said, for a lot of women, it's nice because it's, you know, because it's attention. So she could be like, oh, that's nice, you know. Somebody wants me, I feel wanted. Right? So
why can't you feel wanted by the guy that wants you? I mean, by the
guy
he's
not always available.
Excuse me.
He's not always available. In fact, most of the time he's not available.
So
he might not even exist in your life.
So you're trying to tell me, okay, women on average, let's take everything, by being on the street, going to parties, going to events, online dating, you might have within a week maybe, what, 100 guys try to get with you, and out of those 100, not one of them is the type of dude?
5.
5 out of those 100 will be the type of guy?
No, let's say 5 in a week. I don't know where you get 100 from.
No. There's girls that get hundreds because.
Okay.
Because what I'm saying is.
So what are you saying? Out of those 100.
Out of those 100, you can't find one guy. Like, there was this one girl on the online dating site, and she did a video about it, and she had 225 guys hit her up in a week.
Okay.
And she said, and she still couldn't. She was like, I can't find anybody out of these guys. Out of 225 guys.
I think this is a different argument.
No, I know, but what? No, but
because we were talking about.
No, but this one. No, you said that it's the same argument, because what you said was that they like, you know, the attention that they're getting. Right?
Yeah.
So my question is, why can't they get the attention from the guys that they like, the guys that they want? You understand? Why can't they just focus on those guys instead of getting the guy's number or giving him the number that the guy that she doesn't like to get his attention? So she's giving the guy she doesn't like the number and saying, "Here's my number." And what about the guy she does like? So why don't you focus on the
right? Well, did he ask for her number?
Yes, I'm
so
assuming,
she gave it to him too.
Right. So why don't you only give it to those guys and not do that whole awkward thing?
Wait a minute. They're avoiding awkwardness by giving the number.
Just to everybody.
For the most part, I think so. I think it's less awkward to just give it, right. Even if you're not really excited about the guy, even if you kind of hope he doesn't call.
Oh my goodness.
I think it's less awkward than to be like, no. So because there's an awkward, saying no to somebody in person is a lot more awkward than just not returning his call.
All right, so let's do this for the ladies so we got some sort of solution for everybody. What do you think, how do you think women can let a guy know she's not interested without it being awkward? Because I feel like there
are definitely ways to do it. There are definitely ways to do it. And it takes practice, right?
And let them know now, not after you give him the number, not later, but I'm talking about right when he's talking to you. What can you say to say,
right, because it is a waste of his time.
Right, it's a waste of time.
You do get extra attention, but it's not the attention you want. Right. So like leave him alone, let him get on with his life.
Exactly.
And honestly, I think that women need more reassurance that it's not such a horrible thing to be like, you know, actually, this isn't, you know, I wasn't here to give out my number, or, you know, I don't really think we should keep talking about this, or,
you know, I think would be a
or you know, or like you said before, I'm really flattered, but you know, I'm not that interested in, you know, seeing you outside of this context, and you know, thanks for asking.
Right, I think that would be cool. But again, like we were talking about this off camera before, we were saying that some guys might get upset and they get like angry.
And that's the concern.
And is that what women are scared of?
I think that that's a major concern for women, and I just feel like I should say, or women should hear this more often, just some reassurance that actually guys aren't that wrapped up in you.
That's what I was about to say.
Right? And you think they are, because here they are being like, wow, I'm really into you. I would even like to get your number and call you 10 times maybe. You know what I mean? But honestly, every man you talk to has been rejected
that's what
before.
I was about to say.
He's experienced this. He's survived.
So the thing is
he's talked to more women because here he is talking to you.
So basically,
and it's okay. Like, you can say it. And honestly, if you're nice about it, he'll appreciate that more.
Right. So basically what we say is that you can let him down easy. Like, hey, I'm flattered, but I'm not really feeling no connection with you, whatever, blah, blah, blah. However you want to do it. And most guys are not going to, you know, go in and fucking, you know, have a fit.
Throw a tantrum.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
you
know, and I think you'll be doing, you know, doing a good thing to let them know now instead of leading them on, because it's the same thing if a guy was to do the same. Like if I just wanted to have sex with a girl, how would it be if I'm like making it seem like I want a relationship, and oh yeah, well, girl, we're gonna be together forever, and I really
that doesn't just waste her time, but it hurts her feelings.
Exactly. You see what I'm saying? So it's like if you're just up front and say, hey, this is what this is what I'm seeing. You know, just let the guy know, like, hey, you know, I don't see that it would work out between us. Or even if you want to be extra honest, you know, sometimes you could be like, look, because women know their bullshit too. Sometimes there might be something going on with you that you say, look, you know, you seem cool, but right now I just broke up and I'm a mess right now, so it's not gonna happen. And some guys are still gonna try to like get into it, but it's like at least you stated it. So it's like, let's say even if at some point you was like, all right, you know, we could be cool, but whatever, at least he knows. You understand what I'm saying? And it's been done out there. You see what I mean? But any last words for the ladies?
No, I guess my message is it's okay, and it's nicer. Just say you're not interested, or how did you say before? It's not a good time for me, but I'm flattered. Be polite and be nice about it. But you can say it, and it's not such a terrible thing to do.
I agree. So that's it, ladies. Make sure you click the link below to get my free audio program, 7 highly effective steps to finding and keeping a man, so you don't have to feel awkward about saying I'm not interested. You feel me? All right, I'm out of here. It's your boy, Mr. Lucario, the bad boy of the dating game. Peace. Later.